Everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you are watching or listening in from. Wanted to come in here for a quick little bit of a YouTube live crypto happy hour. It is Tuesday night, at least East Coast in the US. Tomorrow is July 4th, so national holiday in the US, kind of like a Friday night, kind of like a Friday for some people. If you're not in the US, probably just another Tuesday or whatever day it is for you right now. But wanted to pop in and talk about the funds not being SAFU, the funds not being safe. Some crazy stuff happening right now with specifically with Syscoin on Binance, where it has absolutely gone nuts, and this is pretty much happening in real time right now, and even affecting the price of Bitcoin as we look at it. So a lot of crazy stuff happening at this exact moment. Anything I say, just as a heads up, anything I say, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this in the future, there's definitely a possibility that there might be some additional clarity to this craziness with Syscoin and what's happening with Sys. So if I say anything wrong, it's not because I'm totally an idiot. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm definitely an idiot. But it's also because I think a lot of this is we're figuring out what the hell is happening as of this exact time. What's up, Patrick, Cam, Aaron, Tony, J-Man, Jared? Hope all is well. And so if you guys were not watching it, there has been a bunch of stuff happening with, specifically with Syscoin. They tweeted this out about 5 hours ago. We are investigating, this was Syscoin, we're investigating a possible issue on the Syscoin blockchain. Nothing is confirmed, but we've asked for exchanges to halt trading while we investigate. Now, if we pop over to Coinigy, here's the Bitcoin chart, but if we pop over to Coinigy, you literally can't even see what happened on Binance because the chart is so ridiculous. Like, it's just one massive candle here. It went from, let's see the ROI on the candle and just kind of laugh a little bit about this. So it was a 93,000% ROI over the course of like a few minutes. And here's the one, we'll pull this up here for you to see. So this is fantastic. Put this in full screen so you guys can see this a little bit better. Hopefully in full screen, apparently not in full screen, but take a little watch at this video right now of what happened on Binance over the course of this Syscoin pump. Just look how ridiculously crazy it went. I think this is on the 1 minute chart. It just went absolutely through the roof. And at one point in time, so right now, if you're not familiar with it, right now, if you are not familiar, I'll pop over to CoinMarketCap. One Syscoin is worth about 45 cents, and BTC wise is trading at 6,000, about literally just shy of 7,000 Satoshis. What actually happened though was Syscoin pumped so hard from about where we are right now, actually obviously lower than that, but let's just say for right now, about 7,000 Satoshis, pumped from 7,000 Satoshis to, where were we? Here we go, 96 Bitcoin. So somebody had a sell order on Binance for that was for 11 Syscoin at 96 Bitcoin a pop. That order actually got filled. So that person had a sell order. We can pop it up over here, but that person had a sell order that at the present time, or at around the present time, was worth about $3.98. They sold it for just shy of $6.7 million. And the person who bought that for close to $7 million ended up getting about $4 worth of cryptocurrency. So pretty crazy when you look at it. And there is a lot of stuff happening right now where there was apparently some thoughts about 1.2 billion Syscoin being mined. However, it was apparently 45 million Sys transactions in a single block, potentially a double spend. Here's the link to the actual block. I'll put that in the YouTube description. So that's the link to the actual block, which caused a lot of concern for a number of different people. But there is some significant concern around a potential attack on the actual Syscoin blockchain. And I think up to about 97% of hash rate was centralized in one area. And there were also people pointing to instability in the Binance kind of trading algos, and if somebody tripped off and somebody just fat fingered a massive market buy or something like that. A ton of different kind of theories circulating right now, but needless to say, it is pretty ridiculous when you look at Syscoin at this point in time. And if you think about it, so there were, let's see over here, at this point in time, apparently there were 7,000 Bitcoin that were recently moved out of the Binance hot wallet immediately or very close to immediately after the SYS mega pump that went to 96 Bitcoin each. So some people are saying that is really that SYS run in general. Hop over here, we'll just look at GDAX. I mean, the last hour or so after people spotted that 96 Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin dropped here from 66 down to 64.50 or so. Pretty incredible. And Cameron J saying someone fat fingered and bought one SYS for 896 Bitcoin. That's actually not true. It wasn't just a fat finger, and they also bought 11 Syscoin. If you look at the API, pop back over here. But if you look at the API, you can see that it was not one Syscoin for 96 Bitcoin. It was actually 11 was one of the orders there. So I would definitely, like I said, talking about this kind of off the top, I don't think all the facts are there yet. I'm assuming there's a lot of people right now diving into the exact details of what has been happening here. A lot of funny tweets on it. Hopefully you didn't get wrecked somehow. Hopefully if you had SYS, you somehow made a little, you made a little bit of money, maybe sold into that pump. But I think that this is going to probably obviously make the news on the big crypto websites and maybe some of the mainstream news stuff as well. But I think this will be something that will be interesting to see what ends up panning out, because in some respects it's a little bit of the opposite of the ETH flash crash from back like a year ago, when somebody market sold a shit ton of ETH on GDAX and dropped the price from like 200 to 10 cents within like 10 seconds because they sold so much, and the order book just was not deep at all and just sold out the entire order book down to 10 cents. Seems like it was on the other end of the spectrum where somebody bought up the entire sell side of the order book all the way up to that crazy order with 96 Bitcoin. That person that had Syscoin, 11 Syscoin or however many Syscoin up for 96 Bitcoin a pop. So it'll be interesting to see as additional evidence comes out here. Who knows if this will be some type of FUD for the market, or kind of for people to harp on the market. I don't necessarily know if that'll be the case, but we'll have to keep an eye on things moving forward. And so as I'm reading through some of this, we'll definitely happy to take any questions you guys have, whether it's on SYS or just outside of things in general. It is, like I said, it's July 3rd, so I actually have off of work tomorrow. So I ordered some Seamless, and I'm going to in like 35 minutes or so. It's not going to be a full crypto happy hour because I'm hungry and I'm going to eat. But wanted to pop in here as soon as this went down. Somebody said Soros. So is this illegal, or did some guy just get rich? I'm not exactly sure the extent of what might have happened with this manipulation. If this is simply a nut job idiot who bought up the entire, if this is simply a nut job idiot who market bought an absolute ton of Syscoin somewhat accidentally and had a ton of BTC and Binance, or if this was really a coordinated a kind of a coordinated attack against Syscoin, as well as a way to increase the apparently whoever might have done this, it's possible that they walked away with 7,000 Bitcoin, which is, who knows? But that, I don't know. We'll have to see exactly the facts as they emerge. The illegality of it, I mean, these aren't necessarily securities, so I don't know how this might be illegal. Binance is an unregistered exchange. Binance is not registered with the government. Syscoin is not a security, so I'm not exactly sure how that would be illegal, although I am by no means a lawyer by any stretch. What's up with this possible ETF, man? Seems imminent. Well, stuff like this doesn't help the ETFs, to be pretty frank. Granted, there's not going to be a Syscoin ETF, or it's not going to be wrapped within it, but still, this type of, so when this type of thing happens within the crypto space, it does go to show sometimes the immaturity, or a lot of times the immaturity of the space, and how we need better infrastructure, better trading infrastructure, sometimes better regulatory controls, things like that. Paul Lindsay looking to sell my SYS for 96 BTC each. Just bought them. I hope you bought them at 95 BTC. Then you're going to make a sick trade. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding on that. Pretty screwed if that's the case. But always good to see you, Paul. Thank you very much for the super chat, my brother. So popping through some of these questions. So how do you feel about the Verge hack, the Zen hack, the potential Syscoin hacks, and what does that mean for the future blockchain tech security? So going back to that like website 51 cryptos that we've seen before, it is not expensive to potentially do a 51% attack on a lot of these smaller cryptocurrencies. If anything, it makes me feel that and almost become more of a Bitcoin maximalist in a lot of respects, because a lot of people talk about Bitcoin's slow, it's old, it sucks, it doesn't work, blah blah blah. But guess what? For the most part, Bitcoin has been around for almost 10 years now, or whoever, 9, 10, I don't remember the exact date, 9, 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it is. Bitcoin really hasn't been hacked. It has been a very, very secure, a very, very stable, and while Bitcoin has just proven stability over time and time again, a lot of these smaller cryptocurrencies that try to take from the benefits of Bitcoin but don't necessarily have the mining power or the security that Bitcoin does, kind of makes me a little bit more of a Bitcoin maximalist in some respects, just because, like I said, there is proven stability with Bitcoin, but when you apply blockchain technology and this mining to a lot of these other cryptocurrencies that can be pretty easily 51% attacked, or manipulated, it devalues them, and I think increases the valuation of Bitcoin in the long run. In my opinion, this stuff is going to happen. You see, potentially, you can see here the value. We don't know. We haven't seen the aftermath yet of what has exactly happened and who may or may not have benefited as much from this, and how much money, if this was some type of a coordinated hack or a pump or whatever it might have been. We don't know exactly how much money they made from it. But if this had anything to do with the potential 97% attack that went down, or whatever happened with this, you can see the economic benefits typically outweigh the cost of these potential hacks. And the incentives, life is all about incentives. Cryptocurrency is all about incentives. And if there is a $10 million incentive to spend $50,000 to hack a cryptocurrency, you can bet your freaking bottom dollar that some malicious actor out there is probably going to try to go through that process and do that. So, like I said, life is all about incentives, and if the incentive is there, people are going to take advantage of that incentive. You saw it with Verge, you've seen it with Zencash, you're potentially seeing it right now with Syscoin, or having seen it with Syscoin. So good question, Nick. And this is something that kind of happened on the other end. But Nick said, do these hacks mean we should be putting sell orders on our coins at random BTC amounts on the off chance that this happens to other coins? I would say probably not. Because that means, number one, you have to leave your coins on an exchange. And as we've seen with a lot of exchanges, oftentimes they're not the safest place to custody your assets. A lot of times I would recommend, many times I would recommend simply keeping your assets on a Ledger or a Trezor or somewhere else that is potentially more secure. That would be my thought process on that. But the same thing kind of happened when there was the Bitcoin or the ETH flash crash on GDAX. I had a lot of my friends talking to me, and they were like, yo, dude, I'm going to put a bunch of USD on GDAX and all these other exchanges, and I'm going to have buy orders really low, because in case a flash crash happens, then I'll just be able to buy them up really low. That was the exact opposite. Is if you bought, that flash crash happened, you could have bought Ethereum at 10 cents a year ago when it was really fairly valued at $200, and you would have made a killing right off the top. If you bought 10 or 100 ETH for 10 cents each, you would have made an absolute fortune. And some people did. But what also happens with this too is that we might see Binance end up putting in some circuit breakers or some type of additional technology to prevent this. If they get a lot of heat from this, we'll have to see what ends up panning out here. But just overall, I mean, what are the chances, to be pretty frank, like what are the odds out of all the coins that are on Binance, or all the coins, or first of all, out of all the exchanges, what are the odds that the one exchange that you have your money on either goes into this flash pump or a flash dump, and you have the right order set on not only that exchange but on the right pair? It's probably pretty minimal, so I don't think it's worth the time. So looking at what are your thoughts on the McAfee BitFi wallet? All I know is he's advertising it as unhackable, and anytime anybody says anything is it probably isn't. So the Titanic was unsinkable. It wasn't. McAfee's wallet is unhackable. That just puts a bigger target on it. I haven't looked into it enough, so I don't know. McAfee's crazy, for better, for worse. I'm happy with the Ledger. Outside of Ledger, I would recommend a Treasure. I don't use it, but I know a lot of people like it. I think there's probably other alternatives that I would look towards over that, but that's just my own personal opinion. Somebody mentioned, why'd you get rid of Cardano and BLT? Just wanted to moved on from Cardano, made some profits. I would definitely re-enter that trade. I've made a number of trades on Cardano in the past. We'll probably make a number of trades on Cardano in the future. But why did I buy Jin? I bought Jin for the masternode, kind of for what I thought would be. I bought a few I entered the masternode game with Jin. I really liked it. I started off small. I liked what it did, and it actually BTC value like doubled over where I acquired it. So was happy about that. And Jin has treated me good so far. I am not in love with any masternode coins. I'm not fully convinced that they're not total scams, but I like Jin over kind of any of the other ones. It was the easiest one to set up. I think there's actually some value there with hosting on the platforms, and they're going to have shared masternodes and some other things. So I'm a fan of Jin. So Zoro said, so hold on, you're telling me if I had one Syscoin, I could have sold it for 97 Bitcoin today? Yes, you could have. If you were the one person that had that order, you actually could have sold 11 Syscoins for 97 Bitcoin, or excuse me, 96 Bitcoin each. And just in case here, I'll put this back up. I'll allow this. Just in case, where is this? That boy. In case you didn't see this happen before, try and put this in full screen. Whatever reason, it's not working in full screen, but just in case you didn't see it before, here is exactly what happened if you look on the charts. You can see this stuff live. Yeah, 96 Bitcoin. There it goes. And so you can, I mean, we'll pop over back to Bitcoin, and you can see the price dropped on some of the concern that Bitcoin was specifically moved out of Binance's hot wallet that were gained as rewards from, or that were essentially gained as benefits from this pump, or whatever it might have been, this pump, this coordinated attack, this hacking. Who knows exactly what it is right now? I'm sure there's more information literally being fed live on Twitter right now, because this is what everybody's talking about. But Bitcoin has dropped pretty substantially on an hourly candle, just I think on some of that rumors. And I do think that while I'm usually hesitant to attribute one thing to another in crypto, I do think that there is some potential correlation there for sure. Bullshit, garbage, throw them in jail. So you know, that's definitely, when I look at this, I think that it goes to show a couple different things. There is a ridiculous opportunity to make money in the crypto space if you are technically, if you are very, very technically savvy, understand incentives, and you also potentially are slightly nefarious or very nefarious. I also do think that it goes to show how immature a lot of the infrastructure is, even in some of the most respected exchanges out there like Binance and like some of these other places. you can see what happens when people put in either large orders or able to manipulate things with any degree of significance. A lot of these smaller cap cryptocurrencies with lower trade volume, as well as lower hashing power, lower security, there's a lot of manipulation that can happen. And like I've said before, after the Zencash and the Verge stuff and the Bitcoin Gold stuff happen, I do think that this is going to continue to happen because people can make money doing it, and there's not all that much in place for them to stop it. So, so can ETH run like BTC from here to $10,000 to $20,000? Thanks. I'm not exactly sure if you're referring to ETH just running in a similar manner to Bitcoin, or if you're actually referring to ETH getting to worth $10,000 to $20,000, which I would say no, simply from a market capitalization perspective, obviously. So I'm not exactly sure what the thought process behind the question is, MTS. Apologies on that. Thank you for the super chat, but not exactly sure what the what the thought process is on that. I'll pop over. You're in a very iffy masternode. We need to chat and I can help you. Gotta watch crypto. Okay. Why is that? Yeah. There's Cisco and Mana. Shout out to Mana. And Dentacoin. That's so when you talk about shitcoins, when you talk about just crypto still being immature and funny and ridiculous, you have Dentacoin, which has a $140 million market cap, and it is up 30% on $56,000 in volume. Only has 4% of the supply interested, or the supply issued already. Implied valuation year 2050 of a $3 billion market cap. It's so ridiculous. Hop over to Mana, see what's up with that. A lot of people talking about that in the chat right now. Damn. Oh shit. Oh, wow. So yep, in the past 2 hours, it's up about 87% right now. Exactly. Was up about 120%. Another coin that's pumping through the roof. If there's anything specifically on, I'll check over on Twitter on the other. Decentraland, let's see if they tweeted anything. Nope. Now, I don't know if there's a specific reason why Decentraland might be. I don't know if there's a specific reason why Mana, aka Decentraland, might be pumping. Would love to hear that. Love to hear that in the comments. That would be fantastic. Pop it up on the 15-minute. Damn. Alex Kerr, what is your opinion on Nano? Decentralized acyclic graphs, DAGs are interesting. Nano pumped through the roof already. Could it pump again at some point in time? Yes. Will you ever see the gains that you saw if you got into Nano early? Probably not. I have spoken to one of their lead mobile devs, Zach, a little bit in the past. I still need to meet up with him. We talked about meeting up for a coffee or beer one time. So would love to reserve a really solid opinion on Nano until I have a chance to grab a coffee or beer and kind of hear what he's doing and what he's thinking about the space and the new product advancements that they're doing at Nano specifically. And we're seeing Mana dump right now live as we're watching, which is pretty awesome as well. Let's see if we good question, Charles. What's up, man? Hey, Bobby. I'm a college student entering my senior year. Do you know of any projects looking for an intern, getting a degree in finance? getting a job in crypto, I think, is very much about just kind of hustle and trying to meet as many people as possible. That's kind of my personal opinion. That's what worked for me. I applied to jobs blindly. I wanted to work for a cryptocurrency company. I used to work at Oracle, which is a big tech company, and wanted to just get into the blockchain space, and tried to blindly apply. Didn't really have all that much luck, and ended up just kind of networking with people and having a lot of different interviews, and that's how I ended up at AirSwap. Was kind of through networking and all that good stuff. So I think networking is huge. If you can go to any meetups, if you know anybody at all in the space, that's typically going to be your best bet in the to break into the space. As far as specific projects that are hiring, I don't know, but I would think that there are quite a bit of projects that are hiring. I could think about it afterwards. If you want to hit me up, shoot me an email, try to reach out on Twitter, and I can definitely do my best to help you out. And this is why you also don't buy into pumps. As we're watching Decentraland live, go up 75% and then drop down from the top. Sure, some poor bastard bought up here and is already down 30% from the pump. So hence, don't buy into damn pumps, you crazy heads. It is never a good idea. If you're seeing a ridiculous move like this, always take a deep breath, drink a beer, relax. Don't do anything crazy, because that is not that's not the way to go. Actually, while we're doing that, give me 1 second. I am going to grab a beer because I kind of forgot it's essentially Thursday night or Friday night, and it's 7:30. So give me a second. I'm gonna grab beer because it's crypto happy hour, right? So we're back. Sorry about that. And this is the only thing that's in my place right now because one of my buddies bought it for me last week when we went out. So it's a nice American beer, a nice Tecate for for July 4th. We're going real American, real red, white, and blue for it. But you drink what's in your apartment and you go from there. I'm joking around that it's Friday night because tomorrow is July 4th. So the majority of people are not working in the US, at least. I'll try to make a video most likely tomorrow anyway, but the majority of people are not working in the US. So essentially, tomorrow's a day off in the middle of the week. It's kind of like a Friday. Hence drinking a beer, relaxing, hanging out, talking to you guys. Ryan Sturts, you looking small. Hit the gym. Thanks, bro. I've been trying, man. I've been going to the gym. I've been crushing pre-workout every morning. Trying to up my protein. Trying, man. I'll get there. You wait and see, buddy. You wait and see. We'll get there. Red, white, blue beer. Yeah, not Tecate. I'm just popping over on Twitter real quick on the other side, and as quick as Decentraland jumped up, it is also selling off, which is pretty funny and crazy to see. So as quick as that is happening, it's definitely a sign in the real world of why you don't buy into those pumps. This is holy crap. Wow. I mean, this is like two things within it's pretty crazy because this is two things within the span of 4 hours, where I don't know on Binance or if this is on any other exchanges. Let's take a look at Bittrex, see what's going on in Bittrex. So pump maybe not as, actually it's pretty severe on Bittrex. Take a look at Huobi for the hell of it too. Also, so it's okay, it's pumping across exchanges, not just Binance. So what's pumping next? That's the question. And apparently it is I'm just gonna joke around and say it's alt season. It's definitely not alt season, but I mean, Who would think you get 100% pumps in a day? I mean, if you had mana, God hopes you sold it there, and maybe if you wanted to buy back in, buy back in. So look at this. Over the course of mana pumped 86% over 12 minutes and is now back to up 3% over 23 minutes. So mana has gone up 85% and then come back down pretty much all the way to parity over the course of less than 30 minutes. When do you think Bitcoin will rise substantially? If I knew the answer to that question, I would put all my life savings into Bitcoin at that exact moment, bang a massive long, a leveraged long, and see what happens. But I have no full, I don't have any clue. For me, it's usually dollar cost averaging. That's kind of always been my strategy with crypto and trying to take profits now in a more intelligent manner. As you can see from something like this with mana, if something pumps a significant amount in a short period of time, especially in the past 6 months or so, odds are it's going to go back down. So taking profits is typically an intelligent thing to do. In the past, a lot of times you took profits and it might be too early. But right now, this is the type of market where if you get an opportunity to take profits, you take those damn profits and kind of fight along for another day. But I typically dollar cost average in as well. Reminds me of the good Poloni X pump and dump days. Yeah, this is looking like the Polo pump and dump days for sure. So Jason Watts, good question, brother. When /if the SEC approves a Bitcoin ETF, it'll be a good time. Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that if and when. I don't believe it's a question of if. I believe there will be a Bitcoin ETF. It's more of a question of when, and it's how soon. And I think a lot of people. Oh, that's my food order. Thank you. And food's here. Told you guys I ordered seamless. Wasn't kidding when I said I was hungry. But shit, my food just really threw me off there. I'll stick around for a little bit of time until I'm really, really hungry. But no, actually not a buffalo chicken wrap. I thought about doing a buffalo chicken wrap. What did I get? Something real good. I got some type of Italian sandwich, and I added artichoke and fried eggplant on it because I'm Italian, so why the hell not? Waiting right by the door, man. Ideal desk placement in the office. Hey, mom dropped by with some pre-made dinner. No, man, that's called. Not gonna dox my address. I'm not showing you the seamless receipt. But yeah, so I'll hop back into it for a few more minutes with some questions here. And I think the question was around the Bitcoin ETFs. I think it's not a matter of if it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But there are a lot of people saying like, oh, because the SEC came out and they changed here. We'll actually pull up the SEC ETF thing right now. There were a lot of people that were pointing to this specific announcement 5 days ago. There's a new approval process for exchange traded funds or ETFs that the SEC came out with. John Clayton, who is the chairman of the SEC, came out with this. The whole fact sheet associated with it. If you want to read it, definitely take a look. But really what's going on with it is a lot of people have been looking at this and saying, hey, this is the impetus for the SEC to put forward a Bitcoin ETF. It's going to be awesome and it's going to be huge and the price of Bitcoin is going to go through the roof. I do think there's probably still at minimum a few months away before we see a Bitcoin ETF, if not 2019 type thing. I would love to see a Bitcoin ETF as soon as damn possible. That would be my absolute, number one, it would pump the price of Bitcoin for sure. I think it would lead to greater adoption, absolutely. But I'm just being realistic, and I don't think the industry is there yet from custodianship, from insurance, just from an infrastructure perspective. I think we're still a little bit of ways away. Do you think TRX is a shitcoin? Does it bear shit in the woods? Yes and yes. No, I'm kidding. Maybe not. Just joining check mana. Yeah, guess where we were. The pump and the dump. So somebody's saying alt season is in, I think, and I talked about this before, but you know, we've seen two basically coordinated pump and dumps with SYS and with mana. If this is alt season, if this is the start of alt season, I will be the happiest kid on earth. I will be super pumped. I will be ecstatic. I don't think we're here. I don't think we're there yet. I'm certainly keeping an eye on things and going out and grabbing some beers with some crypto guys tonight to talk about that, see what their thoughts are. But I don't think we're at alt season yet. I mean, you'll know when you see it. And this is a sign that, hey, maybe, but I don't think we're anywhere near there yet. Malt season, yeah, it's malt season. All right, guys. Well, outside of that, so I am going to actually eat my food. It came a lot quicker than I thought, so apologies that I was only here for like 35 minutes. So Simo said 35 to 45 minutes. Literally placed the order right before I went live because I'm starving little bastard. But I really do appreciate the time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be keeping an eye on. I'll be keeping an eye on what's going on with the whole Syscoin stuff. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. I'll be keeping an eye on what's happening with Mana. If you don't follow me on Twitter, shoot me a follow on Twitter. I'll tweet about that there. But if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. It helps to get this video out to as many people as possible. Would really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for your time. Crypto Bobby signing out. Hope you have a good one. Peace. Everybody.